So hello everybody, today we're going to do another unboxing, and this time we're going to unbox 4 of the Jumpstarter boosters from Magic the Gathering for the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. There were 2 sets in total. There was the Jumpstarter and the Volume 2. Now the way these Jumpstarters work is, the idea is that you draw 2 of these and you mix them together and you get a viable, playable deck of 40 cards. And then your opponent does the same, and then you can just basically start playing. These decks are set, so basically you have one particular... so for each color there are 2 versions which have different cards in them. So we will start with the Jumpstarter Volume 2 booster, number 1. And each of these contains 20 cards, and I will have to get a pair of scissors to do this. And they all contain lands. They also contain Jumpstarter-only cards, and I believe some rare cards as well. So the first one we have is Riders. That's red. And this is the theme card. Each of them also has a theme card. So, we start out with the Rohirrim Lancer. Menace, this creature cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. For 1 red, when Rohirrim Lancer dies, the ring tempts you. I have no idea what it means if the ring tempts you, but we will see. Rally at the Hornburg, that's a sorcery. You create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Humans you control gain haste until the end of turn. 1 red and 1 of any color. Haradrim Spearmaster, human warrior, reach, so they could attack and defend against or block flying creatures. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another targeted creature you control gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. So we have attack and defense. So these are the 2 values. Relentless Rohirrim, human knight. When Relentless Rohirrim enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. For 4, Smite the Deathless. It's an instant. Smite the Deathless deals 3 damage to a target creature. That creature loses indestructible until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. No living man am I. Gimli's Axe. It's an artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+0. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has menace. It can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. You have to spend 2 mana to attach it. And you can only equip it as a sorcery. Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold, legendary creature, so we would be able to attach it to him, and then he would become menacing. Whenever Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold, or another human enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of turn. So this is a human deck. Eomer, brother of Eowyn, haste, which means he doesn't have summoning sickness. As soon as you summon him, he can attack. Whenever Eomer of the Riddermark attacks, if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Fire. Fear Fire Foes. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Fear Fire Foes deals X damage to target creature and 1 damage to each other creature with the same controller. Book of Mazarbul, an enchantment. As this saga enters and after you draw a step, add a lore counter sacrifice after 3. Okay. Mountain, so these are really lovely. So basically I'm going to, when I have all of these, I'm going to see if I can, how much of a card you can build. So this is the basic land mountain, and then we get the normal ones. Then we also have them in foil, which I really like, and they are beautiful. See the foil effect quite clearly. And then now we have special cards coming up. We have the Riders of the Mark. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each human you control. They are quite expensive, 6 and 1. Trample and haste. So trample means that any additional or any unblocked damage spills over onto the controller. And we've got Glowin, Dwarf Emissary. He's also a legendary creature. He's a dwarf advisor. Whenever you cast a historic spell, create a treasure token. You can tap and sacrifice a treasure, go target creature. Until your next turn, that creature attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. Okay. So we're gonna put the riders to the side. So let's see what we have here. So these are all volume 2. And now we've got elves. Lothlorien Lookout. Elf Scout 1/3. Whenever Lothlorien Lookout attacks, scry 1, so you can take a look at your top card of your deck. Chance Met Elves, Creature Elf Warrior. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on Chance Met Elves. This ability triggers only once each turn. So when you attack with this guy, they get +1/+1. Galadrim Guide, Creature Elf Scout. When Galadrim Guide enters the battlefield, scry 2, which would also mean that they would be getting +1/+1. Enraged Huon, Creature Treefolk. That's not an end actually. Trample. When Enraged Huon enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. We will have to see what it means if the ring tempts us. Shower of Arrows, instant, destroy target artifact, enchantment or creature with flying, scry 1. So it actually destroys them. It's not a combat thing. It's a Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, legendary creature, elf noble. Whenever you scry, choose 1 and Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Whenever you scry, choose 1. Does this mean choose 1 card? Glorfindel must be blocked this turn if able, and Glorfindel can't be blocked by more than 1 creature each combat this turn. Celeborn the Wise. Husband of Galadriel. Whenever you attack with 1 or more elves, scry 1. Whenever you scry, Celeborn the Wise gets +1/+1 until the end of your turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. So if you compare if you combine this with other elf cards which let you scry on your turn, he can be buffed quite a bit. Stuke the Kunis, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to a target creature you don't control. Create a food token. So essentially that's not attacking someone, so they can't block it. It just goes straight onto that creature. Entish Restoration, sacrifice a land. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So if you're looking for land, if you don't have enough, then you can get 2 for 1. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, instead search your library for up to 3 basic lands. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Lembas, food. When Lembas enters the battlefield, scry 1, then draw a card. You can spend 2 and then tap and sacrifice it, and you gain 3 life. When Lembas is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles it into their library. So basically, when you spend the 2, tap it, sacrifice it, you get your 3 life, then you actually put this back into the library. So it comes back. Again, beautiful card. And here we've got the normal forests that we've seen already. And here we have them in foil. And we've got the Legolas, Legolas Master Archer. Reach, so he can attack and defend and block flying creatures. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Legolas Master Archer, put a +1/+1 counter on Legolas. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, Legolas deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature. So basically, if I cast a spell on another creature that I don't control, I do 1 damage. And Mirkwood Channeler, creature, elf, druid. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target elf you control gains trample and gets +1/+1 until the end of turn, where +X/+X, where until the end of turn, where X is the number of forests you control. The question is, how do I do this? Is it automatic if he's there? Okay, cool. So that was the elf deck. We've got one more from Booster 2. From Jumpstart Volume 2. And we've got mortals, so that's good. So we've got 3 different ones out of 3 different packs. So let's see, the mortals. Eastmark Cavalier. Vigilance. So it means they don't tap when they attack. Whenever Eastmark Cavalier deals damage to a goblin or orc, you destroy that creature. So that's like a death touch for those types of creatures. Took Reaper. When Took Reaper dies, the ring tempts you. Errand Rider of Gondor. When Errand Rider of Gondor enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then if you don't control a legendary creature, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. Does it say what it means if the... Human Soldier, when Errand Rider of Gondor enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then, if you don't control a legendary creature, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. Slip on the Ring. Exile target creature you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. The ring tempts you. I'm not sure why I would want to do this. Banish from Edoras. Sorcery. This spell costs 2 less if you cast it... To cast if it targets a tapped creature. Exile target creature. Okay. Samwise the Stout-Hearted. Flash. It's a sorcery. When Samwise the Stout-Hearted enters the battlefield, choose up to 1... Choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand, then the ring tempts you. Faramir. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir Field Commander as your ring bearer, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Landroval. Horizon Witness, flying. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until end of turn. reprieve, return target spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. When inherited envelope enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you at one mana of any color. Basic land, plains, sheep. Here we have Eagle of Deliverance, and that's a rare. You can make a creature that you control indestructible when this card enters play, plus if that creature's power is 2 or less, you draw a card. And then Flowering of the White Tree. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward 1. Non-legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. So we've had 3 different ones for 3, so it's good going. And I've got 4 more, which we're going to use to actually draw 2 each and then mix them together and play. But now we're going to take a look. No, actually I don't. I have 4 more of these, of the first ones, of the first. They don't come in plastic foil. And it's Mordor. Black. Dunland Crabine. The ring tempts you. As the ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the ring if you don't have one. Then your emblem gains its next ability and you choose a creature you control to become or remain your ring bearer. The ring can tempt you even if you don't control a creature. The ring gains its abilities in order from top to bottom. Once it gains an ability, it has the ability for the rest of the game. Each time the ring tempts you, you must choose a creature if you control one. Each player can have only one emblem named the ring and only one ring bearer at a time. So we'll have to see where we get information on this, where we get this token or this emblem. Dunland Crabine, Grima Wormtongue. Ooh. It's an uncommon card. Your opponents can't gain life. It's a very nice picture. Sacrifice another creature. Target player loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, amass Orcs 2. Lash of the Balrog. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 4. Destroy target creature. Bitter Downfall, that's Boromir's Last Stand. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. So then it's only 1 black. And you destroy the target creature and its controller loses 2 life. Orcish Medicine. Target creature gains your choice of lifelink or indestructible until end of turn. Amass Orcs 1. Okay. Swamp. Mordor Muster. Sorcery. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. Amass Orcs 1. Gollum Patient Plotter. Oh, a very, very nice picture. When Gollum Patient Plotter leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Sacrifice a creature. Return Gollum from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only a sorcery. They'll take it. Steal my precious thieves. We hates them. Gothmog. Morgul Lieutenant. Okay. Creature tokens you control have Death Touch and you also have Amass Orc 1. Shadow of the Enemy. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast... Oh, that's 3+3. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled and mana of any type can be spent to cast them. Okay. But that's also an incredibly beautiful picture. So basically you take the creature cards from target player's graveyard and you exile them. And as long as they're exiled, you can create them. You can cast them. Ring Wraiths. Wraith Knights. Oh, beautiful picture. When Ring Wraiths enter the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets 3/3/3 until end of turn. If that creature is legendary, its controller loses 3 life. When the ring tempts you, return Ring Wraiths from your graveyard to your hand. Swamp. Lovely. Kirith Ungol Patrol. Creature Orc Soldier. Sacrifice another creature. Draw a card that creates a food token. It then creates a food token. Okay. Nasty End. Draw 2 cards. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, draw 3 cards instead. Swamp, 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 and these 2 swamps. Okay. So, let's see. This was uncommon, uncommon, common, uncommon, uncommon. Sorcery, that is apparently mythic rare. Okay. And rare. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're actually going to, I'm also expecting a full display box of the Volume 2 boosters. So we're going to do 2 booster matches. We're going to take 2 each from this Volume 2 and 2 each from Volume 1, and we're going to fight it out. So that is the unboxing of 4 of these boosters. They are still available, at least in Germany, and yeah. So this is them. Let's just zoom out a little. This is what it looks like. It is actually very, very beautiful. I mean, the art is stunning. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.